Yay, fun. Hi. All right. What's up, scaredy cat?
He said hey. He said this one didn't pee last time.
Good morning. Okay, I'll come say hi. I'll come say hi. I love you too. Hi, mamas. All right, go place.
Place. Come on.
All right. How's everybody doing today? You're back. What did you guys do last week? Huh? We went through a tunnel.
Yes. And, so in other words, we didn't work on that.
Okay.
We worked on some walking, or the leash.
Okay.
Somebody was not very good.
Okay.
Place.
Okay. So the basic stuff.
What places distractions?
Place with distractions. Okay. All right. Who's struggling with the sit command? No one?
Not normally, except for today.
Who's struggling with the down command? You guys?
Just started doing it, so he's catching on, but he's a beginner.
Okay. Who's struggling with heel or loose leash walking? That's probably the hardest one for most people. All right. So let's work on down real quick. Go ahead and bring Mando up over here. Bring him up to the front of the class. Good boy. Hi, buddy. All right, let me see what you guys have been doing further down.
I'm gonna need some of that food. He won't do it without food motivation.
Yeah, that's okay.
She's been working on it with him, so.
Ah!
Mando, come. Sit. Yeah, we've been originally started coming up. Mando. Down. We're still down.
Good.
He won't do it without the food yet.
Okay.
He
Yeah.
just started, so he just needs familiarity.
Yeah. Let me grab a couple of those. All right. Can you guys hear me? Yeah. All right. Perfect. So working the down, right? A lot of times with younger dogs, it's easier to get on their level. You can kind of halfway get there already by putting the dog into a sit, right? I'm not going to use any words. I just want to start building the muscle memory so the dog starts to feel that position. So I'm going to open lure him, let him eat while I do it. Put him into that sit. Good. And then I'm just going to come straight down. Give it a little bit of leash pressure. I know, it's so stressful. Good. Good. Yeah. So put him back in that sit. A little bit of leash, a little bit of pressure on his shoulders. Good. Free. Go, good. Free.
He's smart. He learns fast. He's just so muscular. Sometimes you gotta like really push on him if he doesn't want to.
Yeah. Oh, perfect. Good.
Yeah, he's super food motivated.
So, a lot of times we're first working on commands. We don't want to actually use the command. We want to build the repetition first. So if you think of martial arts, you think of like a sport, you want to lay the foundation work before we actually give the command. So what I was working on right there was basically just doing, put him into the sit, using the treat, put him into that down, release him out of the position, give him that reward, right? After enough repetitions, the dog tries to beat the lure, and that's when I know the dog's connecting the dots. When my dog starts to, it just got really quiet. Oh, Asher was quiet for a second. When my dog starts beating the lure, I know the dog's understanding of the expectation, and then I can start incorporating the command using classical conditioning to get the dog to understand the verbal. Does that make sense? Or am I talking too fast? No? Nobody saying anything, so I'm assuming that's okay? Sweet. All right.
So you're not using the verbal?
Not at first, right? So imagine I was speaking German to you, and I wanted you to go get me a beer, and I was talking to you in German. Would you understand what I'm saying to you? Right. So does your dog understand human language? So I would much rather be like, for you, if I'm going to teach you how to get a beer and I'm speaking German, I'm going to go like this. I'm going to drag you over to the refrigerator, open the beer, and I'm going to talk to you in German while I'm doing it, right? Because that's what I speak. Yeah. I get the beer and I'm like, crack it open. And then we go back and we watch some TV that you might not understand because it's in German, and then I tell you to go get the same thing, right? But I'm using the same words. After a while, you're going to connect the words that I'm using to the action I just showed you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
So if I can show first and then use the verbals once the dog understands the behavior that I'm showing them, it clicks a lot faster. Versus...
So is it not a good thing? A lot of people, including ourselves, will use the word
over and over and over and over and over again. So it deadens the word, right? It makes it so it doesn't mean anything anymore. Now, don't get me wrong. Dogs aren't dumb. Eventually they're going to figure out sit, 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 sit means to put their butt on the ground. But it might be sit, 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 sit is the actual command versus sit, right? Or the mom and dad voice, right? My dog's doing whatever, and I say place. And my dog doesn't go place, I go place, place! And eventually I get mad, I'm like, place! The dog goes, bloop. And it's like, well, where was the command? The command was this. It was the mom and dad voice versus place. Because this is what I reinforced, was this, not the place. Does that make sense? Did everybody hear that? Cool. So for me, when I'm teaching my dog positions and things, I won't use commands. I build muscle memory first, and I want the dog to beat my lure, and then I'll start to incorporate the command. Now, the sequence that we want to incorporate the command at that point would be you standing there or sitting there or whatever you're doing with your dog. I give the verbal, pause, and then I lure. Because if I lure and say the command at the same time, that now all becomes the command. Does that make sense? Which is why a lot of people, when they're teaching their dog to sit, they do this, right? Put the dog's treat above their head. That becomes the command. Versus if I say sit and then move, the dog will eventually beat the lure because I'm giving them chance to process. So a lot of people, you ask your friends, say, hey, put your hands in your pocket, tell your dog to sit. And see how many dogs don't sit. Because this becomes the command. Because dogs are it's not the dog, it's us. Humans do everything at the same time. We talk with their hands, we do everything at the same time. So, but for a dog to truly understand, we have to isolate it. Does that make sense? All right, so loose leash walking, since that was the most people that put their hands up. The way that I teach loose leash walking, how cold is it outside? Is it? Eesh. All right, we'll do it inside. Next weekend, we'll go outside when it's supposed to be like 80. All right, so the way that I teach a loose leash walk, again, I'm not going to say anything to my dog. I am literally just going to start walking. And as soon as the dog leaves my perceived safe space, so for my dog, it's this 1 foot circle right here. Once my dog leaves that, I'm gonna do the opposite of what my dog is doing. Let my dog hit the end of the leash, and then my dog's gonna go, oh, where's Dad? Oh, there you are. And he's gonna come find me, right? When my dog comes back to that safe space, that's when I'm gonna mark and reward my dog. Everybody knows what a marker is?
Yes. Good.
Which one is it? Good? So good is a what kind of marker? A good marker. It's a positive marker, right? Good job. What's no? Negative marker. What is heel? The command. Good job. So when I mark the behavior, what does that tell my dog?
That they're doing the positive, the right thing.
So marking is the screenshot of that behavior, right? Whether positive or negative. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad, I need to mark the behavior, right? So like Astrid being a turd over there, when she jumps off that place cot, it's no. She gets back on it, good, right? Everybody tracking? All right. So when I start teaching the who's having struggles with their dog loose leash walking? Actually, he doesn't like me, does he?
Yes, she does.
Does she? Hi. All right. Hi. Oh, good. Hi. Oh, good. So positive reinforcement, I'm petting the pup. She gets distracted, I turn my other direction. Distraction, change the direction. Distraction, change the direction. I know you can't have mom right now. Come on. Oh, good girl. Good. Distraction. I'm not correcting her. She's correcting herself. Good. Hi. Correction. Good. Hi. Oh, good. Good. Hi. So what do we see? The dog's struggling, right? One, she doesn't want to be next to me. She wants mom, right? But when she panicked and tried backing away from me, if I allowed that to happen, what would that have told the dog?
She was allowed to do it.
It would have said that all you gotta do is struggle a little bit and I'm gonna give up. I'm gonna let you get away with it, right? Now, I don't wanna put more pressure on a situation where she's already panicking. So I just kept my tension, let her figure it out. She struggled. Struggle's okay. Do you struggle in your life? Right, so why is it not okay for my dog to struggle? She has to struggle too to learn, right? And anybody who tells you that a dog doesn't need to struggle in their life is asinine. There's no living creature in this planet that doesn't struggle in life. So for us to perceive that our dog shouldn't have to go through some kind of struggles to learn is ridiculous. But it has to be fair, right? So I didn't apply any more pressure. She panicked. I just kept tension the direction I wanted her to come. Once she figured out how to turn the pressure off, what'd she do? She came right to me, which was perfect, and she got rewarded for it, right? So this is what we're calling pressure on and pressure off. When she panicked, the pressure was on. When she turned the pressure off was the first positive. The second positive was when she came next to me, and then she got rewarded, right? So we're teaching her how to escape the pressure, how to turn the pressure off to comply with what I want her to do. Does that make sense? Now, had I been like, bam, when she was freaking out, would that have helped her at all? No. Good, hi. And if I had treats, she might be more apt to be next to me, but I don't have any treats on me. So I'm just giving love and affection, right? So who else is struggling? Yeah, for sure. But does that make sense?
Yes, very much, yeah.
What if you have that bullish dog that's just constantly trying to lead the way, even when you're applying pressure? I mean, they're like choking themselves out. They don't-
So pit bulls are notorious for that, right? So when I have a dog that is constantly pulling, I have to interrupt it, right? Whether that's food and I teach the dog to be next to me, or my negative has to be more powerful than the dog's want to go do something. So when we start talking about motivators, right? We have positive motivation, negative motivation. If my dog's desire or his motivation to go chase that squirrel is more than my desire for him to stay and heal, who's gonna win? The squirrel every time, right? So my negative motivator to get the dog out of that drive has to be stronger. Or I have to be proactive and more interesting for my dog to focus on me than that squirrel. So you can go one of two ways. I can give a huge adverse correction, potentially shut my dog down and ruin my dog and our relationship, or I can start small, build baby steps to the distraction, and be more interesting than that squirrel. Does that make sense?
I don't know how you're more interested in a squirrel.
You gotta start small, right? And when we start talking about classical conditioning, operant conditioning, so classical conditioning is like Pavlov's dog experiment, right? They ding the bell, they put the food for the dogs, eventually they start drooling when they hear the bell. I can be so interesting and give my dog so much positive that when that squirrel comes out, I can say a command and my dog goes, oh, I know exactly what's coming next, right? Or like my Malinois, who's psychotic, sees a guy in a bite suit, I can't stop that. Like my dog wants to go bite that dude because that's what he's been born and raised and trained to do. So I have to be either more interesting or be more rewarding for my dog than his motivation to go bite that bite suit.
So what are some of the things that you're doing to be more interesting starting out? Baby steps?
Food, other toys, find little rewards that I can build up to. There's a bunch of different ways to go about it, but you have to break it down to an aquarium first, because if I can't get my dog to listen to me in an aquarium, he's not gonna listen to me in the real world. And that's what the goal with this group lesson is, right? Is that we're in a controlled environment. There's not a whole lot of distraction other than our dogs and maybe some food on the ground, right? So if I can control my dog here, which don't get me wrong, having 10 dogs is a lot of distraction for most dogs. I told the last class, like, if your dog can do stuff here, you can do stuff anywhere, because this is a lot, right? So, but if I can control my environment first and teach my dog in baby steps to get to my end goal, my desired goal, then I can move out to where we have more distractions and more things. The goal behind that, though, is that the aquarium sets my dog up for success when I run into those issues. But even when I get out of the aquarium and start going to like Home Depot, Rural King, Tractor Supply, things like that, I gotta start small. I might, my first couple sessions, if my dog is scared, only be able to go into the foyer of the store, right? Or maybe I can't even get to that point because the stupid sliding doors are going back and forth, but I goes, oh my God, I'm gonna get eaten, right? So maybe I have to practice going in and out of those doors 10 sessions before I can even go into the store. Does that make sense? So it's all baby steps. We have to start small and build up. Does that answer your question in a long roundabout way?
Okay, we're having issues with when we go outside
I don't need your personal story. It's okay.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding.
and like coming back in after inside when it's time to come in, she doesn't want to.
Okay.
So how do we correct the pump with that?
E-collar, long line, treats, love and affection.
Still, treats won't work. Blood protection doesn't work. She's more interested in
Well, yeah, she's got freedom outside.
yes. So e-collar probably.
Yep.
Can I talk to you about that?
Yep. Or you can talk to Kayla whenever, because I'll have the next class after this, so.
Okay.
Who else is struggling with the heel? This one? She's gonna panic when I take her, isn't she?
Hi. This is Maggie. Go.
Come on. Good. Come. Oh, hi. Yeah. So, we saw the same thing, right? Dog panic, started to back out, right? I didn't apply any more pressure. Now, I gave her a win. Where was the win? Did anybody see it? Huh? When she sat, she was no longer pulling, right? So for me, that's a win. I can stack a bunch of those wins to get the dog to be more interested in me, right? But if I just kind of sat there and just fought her and then was like, no, that's not good enough, right? I wanted you to come to me. And I fought that sit. Well, now I'm just adding more chaos and more crap to her already chaotic plate right now, right? So I gave her a win, applied a little bit of pressure, and what'd she do? She came right to me, right? What are you doing? Hi. Good. So, obviously the dog wants to go back to mom, right? And that's okay. I'm just letting her hit the end of the leash, guiding her back to the safe spot. Good. Confusion. Which way am I going? Good. Oh, hi. So I want her to sit, so I'm gonna give a little bit of leash pressure. Good. So I don't like the panic, neurotic whining. So every time I hear this, what I'm gonna do is just apply a little bit of pressure. When she stops, if she stops, good. No, good. 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 Hi. Free. So, to reiterate, struggle is okay with your dog as long as it's fair, right? So, if your dog is struggling, we have to help the dog. Come on. Yeah, hi. Do you remember me? So, I don't have any treats, so I'm gonna do all affection, petting, and leash pressure. So I don't ever really start or stop my heel when I'm first teaching it. I just start walking. So she's gonna get distracted. Good. So why did I wait so long to mark the behavior? She wasn't listening, right? I told her, I didn't say anything, but I implied that I wanted her next to me. What was she doing before I marked it? Good. Jumping, being crazy, being a puppy, right? And that's okay, but it wasn't what I wanted her to do in that moment. Distraction, correction. Good. How old is she? 5 months. So I haven't given a treat. I've given her 2 or 3 pets. Distraction. Who gave the correction? The leash. She gave herself a correction, right? All I did was lock it out. Now what's she doing? She's hanging out, right? Now I don't want her licking herself, so I'm gonna give a little pressure. I still haven't asked her to do anything. Good. Hi. Good girl. Now, because I'm not saying anything, she's gonna go through the whole repertoire of everything she knows, right? She's gonna sit, she's gonna down. If she knows how to paw, she'll start smacking at me, right? But like I said at the beginning, like I don't give a lot of commands when I'm first starting things because I don't wanna muddy the water, right? I use my markers, good and no, and I release the dog. So like right now, she's doing really good. I haven't said anything, but she's not doing the crazy crap she was doing with you, right? Good.
Which I want to watch.
So now I can, if I want to use a command, heel. Good. So what do we see right there? No, there was no correction. She beat the correction. She was paying attention to me. I 180'd and she goes, oh, there he goes. And she beat the correction. Now she's being a turd again, so she gets a correction. Hi.
Like when you do the correction, how much force are you doing? Like what type of tugging are you doing?
So it depends on the dog. I'm really not doing anything. It's her. Now, the beginning when she was crazy and jumping, I was giving a little bit of a tug in there right when she would hit the end of the leash. That was a little bit extra, but she can handle it. I wouldn't do that with that dog. That would shut that dog down, especially being on a prong collar, right? She's on a thick slip lead, so she can take a lot stronger of a correction. So knowing the situation, knowing the dog, and knowing what training equipment you're using is huge, because the little pop that I gave to her with that dog on a prong, she would have shut down and screamed at me. Your dog's a little bit more, not strong, but she's a harder dog as far as the ability to take a correction. You're not gonna hurt this dog. Just like Lillian right there. I could yank that dog around on a flat collar and a slip lead, and she'd be like, yay, right? She's a stronger dog, harder dog. My Malinois, I could pick him up by his collar and throw him, and he'd be like, free, right? So knowing the dog's a huge thing, right?
Yeah, 'cause that's weird how like hardest color, especially like
Good.
yesterday when the leaves were flying.
Yes.
Love leaves.
Please. Good. All right. Did that answer questions on the heel? Does that help you guys with the down? Sweet. All right. Arr.
Sorry, one question. Heel. How long do you keep the dog at heel? Is it the entire time of a walk, or does it matter if he goes all the way out? I take him on walks. I let him do both. He will eventually come and get treats.
So that's a great question. It's personal preference. I will tell you, if you allow your dog, if you start off in a heel, right? We walk outside the house, dog goes potty, I say heel, and we start walking, and my dog goes all over the place. Oh yeah? If my dog does that, the heel command doesn't mean anything to him. Right? So for me, and again, this is me, this is personal preference, I let my dog go potty. I say, come, heel. We start our walk. He's in heel until I let him go. Now, you don't have to walk with your dog in a heel. So you can give your dog a sniff safari, whatever you want to call it, right? Free. And you just start walking, your dog comes with you. And if he smells and does whatever he wants, I didn't mean to offend you. Whatever he wants to do, that's fine, because he's not in a heel command. So like my dog has 2 heel commands. He's got heel, which is his competition head up heel. And then he has a walk command, which is a lax pet kind of, you're here. I don't really care what you do, but you have to be here. And then if I say free, he can go do whatever he wants. So like your dog, you can say heel, and that's like hey, you're walking with me. And you can say walk, and that's your dog's, you need to be here, but not here. Does that make sense? Sorry, dude. Right. Does that answer your question? So the other thing too, a lot of my clients, they don't like to walk the dog in heel constantly, and that's okay. So just release your dog out of heel. Or set milestones on your walks. You potty your dog here, halfway to the end of the walk, you potty him again, let him do a sniff thing, whatever, put him back in a heel, you walk back to the house, let him go potty again or sniff around, and then you go back into the house. It's personal preference. So I'm just an asshole to my dog, I guess. I don't let him have any freedoms. All right. Is everybody comfortable with where they're at with their dogs as far as distance and space from everybody else? Yeah, we're good? Okay. All right. I want you guys to take until 10:35, so we have 3 minutes. I want you to practice luring through sits and downs on top of your place commands, and then walking circles around your dog while they're on the place. All right? So make your aquarium more defined. Take her and back away. So take your place cot and go back towards the corner. Because she's just distracted. Yeah, it's okay. She's a puppy. But you want to set yourself up for success rather than the fight and the distraction, right? And if your dog's doing really good, put him into a position and step away from your dog. Don't drop your leash, but step away from your dog. If they're struggling with that, then start working on building your distance from your dog. So start at a foot, take a step back, reward your dog, come back, all those different things. Don't bite me. No. So I don't use a command when I first teach. So if you have treats, what I would do is your dog lure. Do you know what luring is?
Come here, we get the
Yeah, so you take the treat and you like bring them across. So you have two types of lure. There you go, perfect. So you have two types of lure. You have an open lure where the dog is actively eating out of your hand as you're like letting him follow it. And then you have a closed lure where it's actually closed off and your dog's following the hand. And then you can mark, good, open your hand and reward them.
Okay.
So that's one way you could do it is you can lure him across. And I would try to go from different angles so he's not hesitant about it. You can also let him self-discover. So you can literally stand here and drop treats on there and let him figure it out by himself. I don't name it until the dog stops hesitating. Because what I don't want to happen is if I'm using place and he's like, if he's like struggling with it and I say place, he could associate place with that struggle.
Okay.
And then it could be a negative thing, right? So then I'd have to change the command down the road versus just not saying a damn word and letting them figure it out.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that could be a good thing. Okay.
Sorry, dude. I keep offending you.
In general, we adopted him. He was like 7 months old. He was already a scaredy cat when we got him. So I got left. So anyway.
So those
he's
yellow
afraid
bags
of
up there
a lot-
have treats in them.
Oh, okay.
Good job, bud.
He's afraid of a lot of things, but like the car is one of them.
Yeah.
Just in general, with things he's afraid of, is it just repeated exposure, basically? Okay. That's
A
what
lot
I
of
figured.
times.
Yeah. That's what I
Yeah.
figured.
A
So-
lot of times it's just tons and tons and tons and tons of repetitions,
Right.
lots of positive,
Okay.
less negative,
Okay.
and then making it short positive sessions over and over and over again, and then slowly building duration during those sessions.
Okay.
So like,
Last question.
yeah.
Sorry. With walking, like loose leash walking, he does okay. But I have like a plastic prong collar.
yeah, Martingale.
Is that too much for him because he's
Without
afraid?
seeing it, I don't know.
Okay. He's like.
How does he respond to it?
He's
Then it's not too much. Yeah, then it's not too much.
Okay.
If he was like freaking out,
No.
then it would be too much. And what I would say is invert it so the prongs aren't facing him until that's not enough, and then revert it back.
Okay.
But if he's walking fine, then it's not too
He does
much.
great with it.
Then it's not too much.
He's not great.
Yeah. You can also you can use that in class too. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All right, guys. How are we doing with luring? Anybody struggling with the sits and downs? No? Good? Yes? Screw you, nothing. Solid. Sweet. We got some kind of comment. All right. All right, so what I want to do now is I want to take the next 10 minutes and have you guys work on your loose leash walking, all right? So we got the 2 breakout areas. Feel free to somebody go in there or 2 people go in there. Try to spread out a little bit. All you really need is about 6 feet because all you're going to do is you're going to have your dog with you and you're going to walk in figure 8s. You want that dog to stay with you. Excuse me. He gets distracted, I'm going to turn. Dog comes back, great. Dog gets distracted, I'm going to turn. Dog is distracted, I'm going to turn this way. So you're going to walk around like you're drunk. It's okay. I know it's only 10:30. We're all pirates here. It's okay. So try to work on that figure 8 or walking in circles and getting those attention getters from your dog. If you're struggling, raise your hand and I'll come over and help you. We can also use the front area over there on the tiles and everything like that. We can also use that space over there. So give yourself a little bit of space, about 6 feet or so that you guys can walk around like crazy people. Free. What's that?
I said every time you come by, she like gets all excited. My dog see you.
Hi, buddy.
You remember him.
Dad, save me from him again. What? That's my Tommy. All right, so as you guys are working, listen to me talk. I'm going to recap our dog training principles. All right? So we have timing, motivation, and consistency. Timing is our dog's concept of cause and effect. Motivation is how we influence our dog's decision making. We have positive motivation, we have negative motivation. Positive motivation is how we teach and reward behaviors. Negative motivation is how we stop or change behaviors. Consistency to our dogs is being black and white. If we allow gray area into our relationship with our dog, into our training, our dog has to assume things, and usually the dog is going to make the wrong choice.
Good job.
Our marker system is how we communicate to our dog if something is appropriate or not appropriate. Here at Modern Canine Solutions, we use good for positive things and no for negative things. If you're a mother and have children, you probably say, and that's okay. Continue doing that as long as it flows. The commands that we like to use here are sit, which means put your butt on the ground, not hover butting, but actually putting your butt on the ground. Down means to be on the ground. Ideally, the elbows touching the ground and the belly settled. Come means come to me. Heel means walk with me. And place means to get on top of something with all four paws. Free is our release command. Because we have an implied stay, we have to have a way to release our dog out of the command. Any questions over any of that? Does that all make sense?
Makes sense.
Sweet, somebody's talking to me.
It does make sense. He just doesn't listen.
See how she wasn't paying attention and I changed direction?
I just keep getting dizzier.
So start walking longer stretches. Yep. All right, anybody struggling? Raise your hand and I will come assist.
She might need help. Just handling. I don't.
You got this, Grandma. Just treat her like you would treat Jessie if she was not listening.
She didn't listen either, so that's the problem.
Well, more discipline. So take your hand out of your pocket.
You don't need to do treats right now.
There you go. Just start walking. There you go. Perfect. Relax that hand. Do you walk around like a server?
Yes.
You do? I don't believe you. So, don't get so caught up on your handle. All right? All you gotta do is hold this, right?
Okay.
So I start walking. She corrects herself. Good. Good. Relax. Drop your hand. There you go. There you go. There's people everywhere.
She jumps all over him, she bites him, but she doesn't do it to me.
Because Dad's a pushover. He just wants to love on her.
Quick touch. Walk in front of you. Quick touch. No. Walk
There you go.
the other way.
Perfect. Keep walking. So, relax that arm. You've got constant pressure. What's his name? Greg. So you see how you have tension? Relax.
Your arms.
So you're walking like this. Are you a server?
No.
So,
He makes instruments, so he's like this.
oh, okay. So if we're giving pressure, it's like me taking your arm and making you do things. She has to learn. So she needs to have a loose leash. Let her hit the end of the leash. Right? And then when she comes back in the heel, reward when she comes back in the heel. But if we're constant pressure, she can't make a choice. Right? because there's no on or off for her. It's just constantly like she's gonna have to listen to that leash pressure. So then you're gonna have a dog that has to be tight all the time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So relax, feed her out some leash, get loosey-goosey with it.
Feed her out some leash.
Just start walking, she'll come. Boom, good girl, yeah. Sorry.
Go with Dad.
Perfect. Reward her, pet her. There you go. All right, come back to the place cots.
That's not yours.
She's like, it's mine now, Mom. Good girl, Maggie. All right, how's everybody doing? Do we feel better? Awesome, 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 awesome. All right, so that's all I got for you guys today. What's timing?
Response. How quick they respond.
Close. Cause and effect. What are our markers?
Good. No.
What's positive motivation?
Markers.
No, that's a marker.
Positive treat. Good.
That's a marker. Treat. Treat is a type of positive. Yeah, awesome. And what's a negative motivator?
No.
That's a marker. Leash, e-collar, withholding a reward, leash pressure. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, guys, that's all I got for today. Thank you for coming out. Free. Yes, ma'am.
I got this upper collar. Is it on right?
It's too big.
That's what I thought.
Yep. I don't want to grab your butt.
Come. It's okay. She's men? Right.
Good. Yeah.
You want all of it?
Hi.
How
So
much should I take off?
we don't want this to touch that ring.
Okay.
And this is a huge one.
Right. She
So-
told me to get a large one. I said, I don't know.
Let me get you one of ours.
Oh, want to trade?
Sure. I don't care. You can have it. Hi, Maya. Maya, right? Okay.
Well, you know, that's the one I had gotten. And I took it up to the cash register, and she said, I trained my dogs. You need a big one. It's like, oh,
I would actually go with the smaller one, but I'm out of them.
well, I can trade this in, maybe.
That's fine.
Okay.
Whatever you want to do. I mean, this one's even smaller than that one.
Right.
So,
Come. She said, yeah, this is one. Toby, come.
and then what I would do,
Good. You think you're doing right. She says, I'm not getting close to you.
and what I would do, so how has she responded to that so far?
Great.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was saying, because if she's not responding great, what we can do is we can invert it so the prongs are facing outward, and that's not as strong as a correction.
Okay.
If she's not having issues with it, then we can keep it inverted,
Yeah.
and that's fine.
She doesn't mind. See, she's just like,
Yeah. So go ahead and let me see if I can get.
just undo this, and then we can take it off, yeah? I don't think she's going to go anywhere. Now at home, and if there was a squirrel, later.
Right.
Oh, your hands are so much stronger. Yeah. Huh. That's why I'm glad I have you. And I paid extra just for this.
Right.
You know? It's okay with me.
Step on it. She's staying in it. So just start walking.
And then it goes. So see how when it collapses,
Yeah.
these aren't touching that ring.
Gotcha. For this one, it totally is. Oh, look at you. So I'll just trade you. You can have a big one. Come. She said, I don't understand what you're talking about.
Right.
Come.
So to take that off, and the reason why we have to do it tight like that is otherwise they won't activate. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your thumb on these two loops right here and just push it out. And then when you go to put it back on, just squeeze these
Well, I
top
figured
ones,
the squeeze part.
and then it'll drop right back in.
Okay.
But it's easier just to hold that and just push it out.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah, taking it apart was easy, like you said.
and these are all your extra links.
Okay.
So if you get a bigger dog or she ends up getting huge
I'm
or something.
70.
I know, I was just joking.
I know, right? She's very concerned with you.
Yeah.
Normally, though, if I talk to someone, she'll come and finally lay down.
Yeah. She did last weekend or maybe
Right.
2 weekends ago when I was here, she did
Sort of letting her just
explore.
snack
Yeah,
for a second.
absolutely.
Because we've played long enough.
No problem.
You collar.
Come here. Why are you being scared? I think they're $175 our cost or something like that.
Okay.
They normally retail for like $250.
Okay. Sit. Oh, she is.
So you can either pay us for it or pay Kayla or
Okay.
whatever.
Okay.
I don't know. I got to do an order of them next week, so
Okay.
I
All
can
right.
add them in.
So they're back in stock and stuff.
No, I'm out of them right now. I have to
Okay.
go order them next week.
Okay. So just 175 for them, and then is there like a class or anything?
Yeah, I'll teach you.
Okay.
Yeah, once they come in, I'll give you a class on it.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, they're easy. No. Why are you so scared?
So how can I? So when she comes in here, she gets so nervous.
Yeah.
She's like shaking a lot. So how can I help her? Get more comfortable.
How close are you? Do you live here? Do you live in town or?
No, so we're an hour away.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's hard with being so far away. Like, if you just live down the street, I bet just keep coming in. The other option would be, with the board and train, you get follow-ups.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to schedule a follow-up during the week, we could practice a little bit during the week, and then you guys can do group. How does she doing at home? Is she doing better or?
Yeah, she does really well at home.
Yeah, she's just nervous here because there's so much going on.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. And then, it's just all the.
Yeah, this is hard. When there's 10 or 15 dogs out there, it's hard. So
I just didn't know how I could help her because I feel like, I didn't bring her e-collar today because I wasn't sure if if it was wise for me to give her a little.
yeah, you can absolutely because she knows what it means. So it'd be one thing if she didn't understand it, but she understands what the collar means. So what I would do is show up a few minutes early and go in the corner and let her calm down.
Okay.
Right? And then even if we start training and she still hasn't calmed down yet, just hang out in the corner. Just work on her being calm. And then if she levels back out, then start, merging back into class.
Okay.
So, or just do a couple lessons during the week and we can meet up and whatever. I'll have Amanda work with you or whatever. But if she's doing good at home, this is just extra on top.
Yeah, I think she's doing really well. The other thing that I have noticed, or that I'm not sure if I'm doing correctly, is whenever we're working on duration, she tends to walk away and then come back. So, for example, we're outside. I'm trying to tell her to come and sit because there's people walking by. So she will sit for me. I give her a treat, and then she immediately goes out there.
So she's using the breaking to get the reward. Stop rewarding her so much. Yeah. And then reward her periodically when she holds it. Versus initially if I said place and she placed, I'm not going to reward that anymore. I'm going to reward for the duration now. Does that make sense? And then when she starts holding it longer, then maybe occasionally I'll reward her for going on there, but I'm more focused on rewarding her for the duration versus just the initial getting on it. Does that make sense? So, and then being proactive on your corrections. So as soon as she breaks, give her a correction. Does that make sense? And then,
When I give her the correction, would that be like,
so that's the marker. So you can give her the marker, and if she fixes herself, then you can reward her. But if she doesn't fix herself with the marker, then you have to give her a correction, whether that's e-collar or a leash or whatever, or even you grabbing her and putting her back. But your correction needs to be strong enough that she doesn't want to get off anymore. Does that make sense? Because if it's just like a little, she's gonna go, okay, thanks mom, thanks for the pet, right? So it's got to be fair. We can't blast her and get her scared, but we can't also just be like, tap on the hand, because it's not gonna be enough for her to want to stop getting off. So it's gotta match. So does it make sense? Awesome, no problem.
Hey, if he sends me a picture of my dad, if he sends me a picture of his debit card, can we just do it that way?
Yeah. Kayla can take it for you.
All right.
I'm gonna have to run in class again.
So he doesn't like to give it up.